the good thing about like this era is, you know, phones and stuff like that. But I think more than even missing them is also always that fear of what if something happened to them and I didn't make the most of the fact that, you know, like might say my dad's getting older, and I always think like, what if something happened to dad and I could have spent the last, you know, 2 years that I've lived here living there with him and spending more time with him. And I talked to him about that, and he's like, well, you know, you can't live your life like that. But that's more as opposed to just straight up missing them, because I can always go on the phone. Like, it's more the what if something. And my older stepbrother also, he has cerebral palsy, to a degree where he spends most of his time like in a wheelchair. He can't really verbalise words, but he has his own language. Like, it's great, and his brain's amazing, and we get along really, really well. And I think that a lot about Connor. I'm like, what if something ever happened to Connor and I didn't spend the last like 2 years there with him? So that's the hardest thing about moving overseas that I didn't think about till it happened. And I was like, and that also probably comes my grandma, who I was also quite close with. She passed away while I was over here, and this was last year. She called me before she passed away because she had cancer and she decided she didn't want to do anymore. She'd already fought it like twice, and you know, she had a great life, long life. She had cancer and Parkinson's, and I'm like, how are you still standing? But she actually like FaceTimed me and stuff like the day before she died, and she was like, don't you dare come back for my funeral. She's like, you better not, you know, you stay there, you save your money. I think the best thing for me with that feeling was telling the people that I felt that about that feeling. Like, I told my dad that, because I mean, my dad turned 60 last year, which is quite funny because I'm quite young. My parents had me quite late, but so I full on told him that. I was like, I'm scared something will happen to you while I'm away, blah blah. And like, I told that to Connor and stuff like that. And I think that sort of took a weight off, because then they knew that that's how I was feeling.